let's get into this. You got to hear my opening song. And what else? Just super conversational. You guys are going to be around for a little while. Okay?
Sounds great.
All right. You just shook your head no when you said it sounds great. That's a very mixed message you're giving me. All right, you guys. You're strongly encouraged to dance. That's how we do it. There we go. That's how we do.
Just like us last night.
It's true, at the lookout. Yeah.
So we're on Facebook Live right now, but we're not on air yet. But we're about to go on air right now. Hey, we're gonna laugh out proud. I love that she knows the words. Here we go. Hey, I am Dahlia. This is the goods. And we're kicking off Pride. We're kicking off Pride.
Woo! I'm just a little excited, sorry.
Right now. I like it. I like the excitement. By the way, you can watch this on Facebook Live because you have the opportunity to go and watch this tonight as well. But I'm just showing you what you're in for, except I'm not going to be on stage tonight because we want to have a good event. Or this is a goods event, but tonight is going to be a goods event. So this is what's happening. Laugh Out Proud 14.
Yeah.
14. That is happening at Yuck Yucks tonight. 25 years ago, Leah Delaria, she became the first openly gay comic to appear on American TV when she performed on the Arsenio Hall show. And today, LGBTQ comics are moving past cliches. They're moving past these homophobic roadblocks to take their place in our comedy scene. And I have 4, I actually just had to count it because there's a lot of people in here.
It's a party.
I have 4 comedians with us today who are going to be entertaining you tonight at 7:30 and 9:30 at Yuck Yucks for Laugh Out Proud. Right next to me over here, we have Jesse Reynolds, who's now like my next door neighbor.
Yeah, I'm here a lot. I'm like your, pop-up Fergus on the show or something.
I like
your little puppet, yeah.
My puppet, my Fozzie Bear is my puppet.
Oh, that's
He's
right.
actually my Muppet, but I call him my puppet.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me back. This is going to be a great show tonight. Yuck Yucks is awesome. They've been supporting queer comedy for 14 years.
That's a very long time considering that this is just, because it's not always been right now. To us, it feels so mainstream because it's thankfully seems to be becoming more mainstream, in my mind at least. But to see that an organization, a business, a place has been supporting it for that many years before society at large supported it, I think that's fantastic. We also have here with us Bibi Bilodeau. Welcome to the goods. I like your shirt. I'm just transfixed by it.
Thank you. It's Turquoise, my favorite band. Also very rainbow.
It doesn't take much to capture my attention, especially when you have rainbow or neon or anything like that. And next to you is Adrienne Fish, who's like pulled back the afro today.
I did.
Did you not realize where you were going to be?
I know. I'm like an idiot. I can take it out. I'll take it out. Okay, Facebook Live, I'll take it out.
I love that you still have a big afro, despite the fact that you've shaved off like
half of it. It's half my head.
A half. Wow, that's really cool.
You guys are kind of like hair sisters, aren't you?
Yeah, what's your product, girl? Let's talk about it.
Oh, you have no idea. My product varies depending on the weather, but I'll tell you who my hairdresser, she's fantastic. She has the best rates too, and because her rates are so cheap, I allow myself to buy other treats after I use her services. Her name is Dahlia Kurtz.
What other treats? I get it. I get it.
I love her. She's fantastic. Also,
you cut your own hair?
You better believe it. I'm not letting anybody else touch this. It is not a style. It is a landmark. Nobody can touch this puppy.
That's impressive.
Masterpiece. Amazing.
But also, I do not want to miss the person who I could easily miss because the computer monitors are blocking her face. Diane Skoll, welcome to the goods.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
I want to get your take on this, all 4 of you, because today in the Ottawa Citizen, our mayor, Jim Watson, first 2 words in the article that he penned himself, I'm gay.
Woo! Way to go, Jimbo! My buddy.
Jesse, what are your feelings on this?
Oh, Jim has been such a supporter of the queer community in Ottawa for years. You know, we launched the Queer Sphere Expo last year. It's coming back next May. And Jim was one of our first supporters. He thought it was a great idea, and he's at the opening of everything that, everything. But
He's at the opening of bake sales, okay?
Yeah.
He's at the opening for everything.
But he's been such a supporter, and, you know, this is something that a lot of people knew about him, but he wasn't prepared to share publicly until now, and that's his journey, and I'm so proud that he's gotten there.
Nice.
What do you have to say about something like this, Bibi?
Well, I actually live in Iqaluit, Nunavut, so we're the real north, and Ottawa. Yeah.
Them
Sorry,
fighting
Ottawa, you are
words.
the south. You are the balmy tropical south to us. So it is still not very accepted to be out and proud in the north. We're really working on it, and Ottawa is our hub. So we're very excited. I was so excited to hear that the mayor is feeling comfortable enough to be out. We do have a very supportive mayor of our gay community, Madeline Redford. Not sure if she's ever going to come out. She's pretty straight, but she's very supportive. So, no, it's great. It's sad, though, that it's still, you know, people still have to publicly come out, and there still is that risk there. So I guess that's why pride is still super important. But as a Nunavut mute, I'm very supportive of
Wait,
it.
stop everything.
Uh-oh.
Nunavuniut?
That's someone who lives
No,
in Nunavut.
I completely understand. I've just never heard somebody actually contextualize it and put it in a sentence. Have any of you,
No.
do not lie to me, have you ever said Nunavuniut?
No, I want to now.
Yeah, sounds like
Nunavuniut.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Nunavut.
Wait, how'd you guess my password?
Very good. Adrienne, as we're having this conversation about our mayor's article, he's trending on Twitter. Way to trend on Twitter.
Jimbo.
Maybe that was the whole thing. He just wanted to trend on Twitter and be cool like all of those kids.
Yeah. Day before
Instagram
Pride.
followers just
Yeah.
come out as gay guys.
To see the leader of a city come out as gay. First two words, I'm gay. What are your thoughts on that, Adrienne?
My first two words are, that's dope. I think that's
Ha!
awesome. Yeah, just like Jesse and Bibi were saying, I think it's fantastic. That's his journey, and I'm happy that he's finally here. It must be a weight off his shoulders. And it's cool to have people in politics, people in leadership roles, being all gay. So I think it's a great
Way to be.
way to be, buddy.
Way to be.
It is interesting that we still have to come out. I mean, that's, I guess, further down the line, it won't even be a question. It's like, who cares?
What's so funny? My
but-
mom always says, why is it anyone's business?
Exactly.
Who cares? You don't go around asking people, what color are your bed sheets. So why do you ask them who's in your bed sheets? You know what I mean?
You know what, though? I'm telling you, everybody cares about everything. There
It's
are
true.
people who have called the station and they'll ask, how old is Dahlia? Like, people care about every little bit about your business. One of the first questions, are you married? People always want to know about your business, no matter who you are or what you do.
Totally.
And for anybody who wants to know my age, I mean, look, I don't know why you wouldn't believe, my age is going to tell you whether or not I'm telling the truth, whether I'm capable of telling you something, because it's always after I give an opinion that people want to know my age. So I don't know why you wouldn't believe the words that come out of a 19-year-old girl's mouth anyway. I mean, what's your problem? Diane,
Yes.
the mayor comes out as gay. Now, you are transgender, and I
Yes.
tend to think, because I've been having people join me on my show since 2013. This is before Caitlyn Jenner made it almost mainstream to talk about in the media. But I had people coming on my show, and they shared their journeys,
Right.
their transitions, those sorts of stories. And I've likened it in my mind that for people who are transgender, it must be what it was like for people who are gay years ago, at the beginning, when they were starting to come out publicly and make that more mainstream. What are your feelings on it?
I think that's true. I think we're like 20 years behind the mainstream gay rights movement, but I do see a really good thing happening. I think we're moving a lot faster than we did back in those days.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't go around telling people I'm transgender, just, hey, I'm transgender, because like you said, it's nobody's business. But at the same time, I'm out in my comedy. I'm promoting transgender visibility. It's too bad you can't really see me. But I
You
think
can
it's
see
really
right now on
important.
Facebook.
Hi, Facebook.
You know, it's funny though because I was sharing this story just earlier when I was walking my dog the other day, and Fozzie has got the floofiest tail you've ever seen. Obviously, Fozzie Bear's my son, so of course he does. But so this little boy comes over and he's so cute. I love your puppy. She's so cute. She's so cute. She's so cute. And I said, no. Fozzie Bear is actually a boy. And this little kid, 7, 8 years old, took a step back and said, "Oh, I'm sorry for assuming your dog's gender." And I thought, somebody's getting educated.
Jeez.
School woke.
Look at that.
Yeah, so woke.
It's
Yeah.
very different. But while we're commending the mayor for coming out and sharing his story, his journey, and I'm sure you can speak much better to this. My guests right now, by the way, Laugh Out Proud. It's happening tonight at Yuck Yucks. We have Jessie Reynolds.
Hi.
We have Bibi Bilodeau, we have Adrienne Fish, and we have Diane Skoll, all who will be performing for you tonight. And you can catch this on Facebook Live right now, yes?
And Heidi Foss is the headliner.
And Heidi Foss will be the headliner.
Star of the show. Yeah.
But you know what I wonder, while we commend people whenever they come out, I think it's also important, you guys will know better, to commend people even when they don't come out, because I imagine not coming out, you're probably going through your own struggles on a day-to-day basis, whether or not you feel like you fit in, if you're feeling too vulnerable. And to make it through a day, I imagine you need a lot of courage sometimes. And we're not congratulating the people when we don't know their story, but just to make it through a day quietly by yourself. How do you see that, Jessie?
I think that's a very important point, because if you are someone that isn't prepared to come out publicly yet, and you see a story like today and everybody's celebrating Jim Watson, and you think, oh gosh, you feel this pressure that maybe I need to come out too. You don't. Everyone takes their own time and goes at their own pace, and it's such an individual, personal thing that I think you need to be celebrated even if you are still in the closet. So don't feel pressure just because Jim did it that you have to do it too.
Did you feel pressure before any of you would come out and share your
Girl,
story?
everybody knew. I came out of the womb and everyone knew. There was no coming out for me. Yeah.
Well, I've lived in places, like especially in Iqaluit, over the last 10 years. It's become safer to come out, and I'm a white girl, very basic. I do not represent.
Oh, sweetie, you are not basic. If you're watching her on Facebook right now, Bibi is anything but basic.
Well, I live in a place where 95% of many communities are Indigenous, they're Inuit. I'm a white girl. I have privilege to come out and be out, and I was never super loud and proud. But because I live in a place where Canada's rights do not always include, especially Indigenous people, and there's Two-Spirit, where they are our ancestors, they are our gay ancestors, they paved the way for us, however they're not being recognized now. So believe it or not, Iqaluit's actually the big city of the north. There are 25 other communities where it's very unsafe for people to be out, and I don't have a choice but to wave the flag and to create those spaces with my privilege. So I feel like that's what we've had 50 years since Stonewall, so we really need to look at what do we want for the next 50 years. Well, it's super fun to party. We have to look at who's not at the party, and that's Black trans people, Indigenous people, those who are still afraid to come out, and we need to reach out to them because they're not going to come to us. That's really what I've seen. It's that we have to make the spaces actually bigger. So.
And Bibi is
so
doing
well
that.
said.
You just got some good news this morning, right? About something you're starting.
Actually, so we got our Positive Space Nunavut. That's the organization that I run. It's mostly creating spaces for everybody because we don't have a lot of safe places in general in the community. So that includes LGBTQ youth, and that's our focus. And we just got our society registration documentation. So it is official. Nunavut actually has a Pride Society now. So that's
Well, a huge congratulations on that, and a huge congratulations on teaching us how to say Iqaluit.
Yeah.
Iqaluit.
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 Means place of many fishes, like us.
Well,
you
my
know?
name's Adrienne Fish.
Okay, we have a fish right here.
Our mascot.
We have Adrienne Fish right here.
I'm my high school mascot. Don't tell anyone.
I'm Dahlia, this is The Goods, and we are laughing out proud right now with Jessie Reynolds, Bibi Bilodeau, Adrienne Fish, and Diane Skoll. You can catch this on Facebook Live, and it's Laugh Out Proud 14 at Yuck Yucks tonight. The other part of when we're talking about coming out, it's not even about coming out your journeys over here. It's about putting yourself out there. And there's a very big difference to me between coming out and then putting yourself out there, because when you put yourself out there as a performer, you're also putting yourself out there for people's criticism, negative and positive, and you have to be willing to take it. So I want to talk about what that journey has been like for you as comics, putting yourself out there. We're going to continue this conversation next right here on 580 CFRA as we laugh out proud number 14 at Yuck Yucks. Iqaluit. Iqaluit. I love it. That's next. I'm Dahlia. This is The Goods. I have to tell you my trip to Iqaluit. Okay. So I've been to Iqaluit. We're going to just wrap up. We're going to do a little bit more on Facebook Live, but then you can continue to hear all of my guest stories if you just tune in to 580 CFRA. But so my story with Iqaluit, I got to go up there. Now I'm like very nervous about how I say the name. I got to up there because I was working for an airline when I was just out of university. So I worked for one of Canada's major airlines. I wonder which one it could be. And there was a story of a dog that they stranded in, I was living in Montreal at the time, and they stranded this dog in Des Moines, Iowa. And everybody, I was working in the office of the president doing customer relations, and everybody, this place, they had a mantra that they taught us, and the mantra was too bad, so sad. This is seriously what I learned in training. So this dog was stranded in Des Moines, and I wanted to go and save this dog, but nobody was intent on this happening. The dog, its parents lived in Iqaluit, so very far away from Des Moines, and I'm in Montreal. So my boss didn't want to let me go, but then I was working out at the gym that belonged to this airline. I was working out at the gym, and I happened to be talking to this guy who always worked out next to me. Little did I know that he was one of the heads of the company, and I was telling him how frustrated I was because I wanted to go save this dog, but my boss wouldn't let me. And then I was later allowed because he listened, like, he ended up being, little did I know, the vice president of the company, and he said, "You let her go to Des Moines."
Wow.
So I went to Des Moines. I got this dog. The dog, I picked it up, took Son Yi back with me to Montreal, spent the weekend with little Son Yi, and then flew the dog up to Iqaluit.
Nice. That's a
Yes.
really nice story.
And then I had to fly right back because otherwise I'd have to wait a week for the next flight. And saved the dog. Are we on air? Are we coming back? Is this me, Ryan?
Yes.
Did the big voice come on yet? No, it didn't. Okay. So we're going to continue this chat right now. Hello. I'm Dahlia. This is The Goods. You can catch another couple of minutes on Facebook Live, and then we're going to go old school radio. Old school radio, and we're just going to stick with hey, you can listen on CFRA.com and have this conversation with our friends who are performing at Laugh Out Proud tonight. Laugh Out Proud 14. This is taking place at Yuck Yucks. We have Jessie Reynolds here. We have Bibi Bilodeau. We have Adrienne Fish. We have Diane Skoll. Bibi's all the way here from Iqaluit. And just putting yourself out there. I'm talking to all of you, but putting yourself out there, not just on the terms of, when it comes to sexuality, gender, anything like that, putting yourself out there as a performer. And then when people find out about whatever orientation you may be, how does that affect you? What has the response been like from people through your career? Adrienne?
I guess I don't know if I'm being innocent in this, but or not, maybe I'm being naive in how I say this, but I actually don't. I think it's been a positive thing for me, and a positive thing in general. It's not something that I think people enjoy. When you watch stand-up, you're just looking at someone's life and you want to see what they're about, and you want to look at another human and how they live. And so it's just interesting for people potentially to see, oh, okay, cool, and this is their perspective, and this is how they view life, and generally it's all the exact same, which I think is important to reveal, is that, like, I am you, you are me, we are the same thing. It's just that I lick a lot of puss. Can I say that on the radio? Can I say that on the radio?
I don't know. That's up to my guy on the controls over there.
Too
Ryan
late.
Knowles.
We're off air now.
We are off air.
The mic lights go
continue to shine.
But yeah, it's overall it's been fine. I mean, when you open yourself up to criticism when you're on stage, of course you do. But yeah, as a performer, you have to learn to tell yourself over and over again, I approve of myself, and it really doesn't. I want to say it doesn't matter what the audience thinks. Of course, there's.
It always matters, you know.
Of course, there's a part of me that does
It's
care.
like it's like this human protective instinct, and we're told you can't care what people think.
We're social beings, though, so we do care.
I
what
think
people
it's impossible because saying you shouldn't care what people think is like saying you can turn on and off your emotions. If you're an empathetic creature, if you are able to feel other people's emotions, which I think is very important in order to operate in society, in order to learn to accept other people and understand other people, I think that you need to exercise your empathy. So you can't just say that you need to care about other people and exercise your empathy, but turn off your empathy all of a sudden if anything negative comes towards you. I think you just need to learn to cope with those negative emotions that you might feel. But I think that caring is the most important thing. And when people say, I don't care what other people say, well, you should care what other people say. You should just learn how to cope with what other people are saying, because I think that's the problem.
Right.
We all need to care, right?
Or place an importance, a stronger importance on what you yourself think, and that really is also a big journey of doing stand up. Mm-hmm. Is how do I find ways to approve of myself and not need the audience's approval, or in general, like you can put that out in life. How do I not need other people's approval so much? How am I able to find that within myself?
I like what RuPaul says, what other people think is none of your business. So I think it just takes the emphasis off like what other people are thinking and how that affects you, and more just trying to create the best art that you can, put it out there. And remember, you can't please everybody, but you can touch everybody, and hopefully the people that are like you or have something to say or learn from, you'll find them. But if you think too much about it, you'll end up damaging your own journey.
I think one of the best comedic routines that I've ever seen, it's a Netflix special, and I don't even see it as comedy.
Hannah Gadsby.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that. I also want to get to Diane's experience as a comic. We are going to get to these stories with Laugh Out Proud 14 at Yuck Yucks. We're going to continue this conversation with Jessie, with Bibi, with Adrienne, with Diane, and you're going to find out why you need to see Nanette with Hannah Gadsby on Netflix. It is one of my highest recommendations, probably one of the least entertaining, you can say, from a comedy perspective, but one of the most enlightening that I've seen. Not least entertaining in terms of entertainment value, but I just mean funny. It's not necessarily going to be funny the whole way, but boy, is it going to be enlightening and not what you expect. We're going to get to that next on The Goods. I'm Dahlia. This is 580 CFRA. It's okay to continue playing. Oh, turn off their mics. It's okay to continue playing the music when I start talking. Just play it right under.
No, yeah, I accidentally just put it in. Like,
okay, no problem.
I liked it. That was dramatic.
He's Ryan.